Up Taiwan. I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's Coast Guard has reported more Chinese vessels in restricted waters. The sightings come as tensions soar in the Taiwan Strait, with multiple maritime incidents in recent months. Joyce Zhen has the latest.
发现大陆渔船，本艇目前准备进行广播驱离，因海象不佳，本艇实施广播驱离。
Spotted in rocky, restricted waters off Taiwan's Penghu Islands, another Chinese fishing boat, one of 7 in the latest sightings by Taiwan's Coast Guard.
吴传明，该船为闽叉鱼叉叉叉号。
The fishing boats all had obscured names and breached sensitive borders, prompting Taiwan's Coast Guard to use radio warnings and water cannons to drive them out. Meanwhile, in the waters between Taiwan's northeastern coast and Japan's Yonaguni Island, a Chinese destroyer found within Taiwan's 24 nautical mile defense boundary, also known as the contiguous zone. Analysts say ramped up Chinese activity around Taiwan shows Beijing is becoming more forceful in its rejection of Taiwanese sovereignty.
军事手段来对台湾进行胁迫，甚至包括这种渔民就是疑似海上民兵的集体的这种作业，都会造成区域安全的这不稳定，这都反映出中共它这种复合式的战略企图影响台湾的这个就是民心士气。
Taiwan-China tensions have been rising in recent months, with Chinese vessels found in Taiwanese waters around the outlying Jingmen Islands, Matsu Islands, Hsinchu, and now Penghu and Yilan. At the same time, Taiwanese fishers have also run into trouble. Recently, 2 people were rescued by China's Coast Guard after their boat lost power off Jingmen's shores. They're still in Chinese custody, with previous delays to repatriation plans. But Jinmen's lawmaker says one could return to Taiwan before the weekend.
谢谢大陆有妥善的这个处理啊，那很快的让我们其中一位民间人士先回来。
But with one Taiwanese citizen's return home still uncertain, and China's increased presence around Taiwan, many here will still be keeping a watchful eye. Andy Xue and Joyce Zhen for TaiwanPlus.
Just days ago, Hong Kong passed the strict national security law expected to seriously erode the territory's democratic freedoms. Now, Taiwan lawmakers and Hong Kongers living here are calling for more protections for those who may be persecuted by the new legislation. Tiffany Wong reports.
抗议恶法通过，台湾各界挺香港，台湾各界挺香港。
Legislators from Taiwan's Democratic Progressive Party are standing with Hong Kongers, calling on the Hong Kong government to recall the new national security law known as Article 23, which was passed in Hong Kong's legislature unanimously just days ago. DPP legislators here fear that it will further deteriorate political freedoms in Hong Kong.
接下来港府会怎么使用？因为我们已经看到在前面的例子里面，港府非常夸张的恶劣的使用国安法。 来逮捕所有只是不听中共的话，或者是表露出一点想要追求民主意图的一般的人，或者是国会议员，都一样都被抓进去关了。
The new law expands the territory's already strict national security laws to target treason and external interference, as well as strengthening police powers. Beijing originally imposed a national security law on the territory in 2020, shutting down pro-democracy protests and causing thousands of residents, from political activists to artists to ordinary people, to flee. Some of those who have made it to Taiwan are asking for support for those still looking to escape.
希望台湾政府可以规划好他们地质的申请流程，定一个合理的薪资门槛。希望台湾政府让我们这些喜欢台湾的。 同样拥抱民主自由的香港人，有一个明确、稳定的途径，可以留在台湾安心生活。
The new law goes into effect on Saturday, but the impact can already be felt in the spirit of Hong Kongers here as they watch their old home change drastically and hope that their new home in Taiwan can remain safe from Beijing's influence. Eason Chen and Tiffany Wong in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan Central Bank this week raised interest rates to a 15-year high. This will likely have a significant impact on consumer spending and people's mortgages. Wesley Lewis has the details.
Taiwanese spenders may soon need to tighten their belts. The country's central bank this week raised the benchmark interest rate from 1.875% to 2%. The previous rate had stood unchanged since March last year. In February, the consumer price index reached 2.16%, surpassing the 2% inflation warning line. The bank said its interest rate hike is a response to this rise in prices.
调升我们的政策利率半码，那主要的理由呢，还是关于通膨的预期的心理。
The rate hike to 2% is a new 15-year high. It comes close on the heels of Japan's decision to raise its own interest rate for the first time since 2007. The average mortgage interest rate of major banks in Taiwan was around 2.1% before the hike. Now, if someone borrows around $300,000 and takes 40 years to pay off the principal loan, the monthly mortgage will increase by a little over $20 per month, or slightly over $240 per year.
如果说以10% 来看的话，我们是做这样的一个预测了。如果说它的调升的幅度比这个来得大，那恐怕也会再上修一点。
The central bank says this week's interest rate hike will counteract an imminent rise in electricity prices, but its impact on people's everyday bills remains to be seen. John Su and Wesley Lewis for TaiwanPlus.
A new report has found Taiwan's air pollution is among the worst in the region, but some here don't think it's so bad. Sally Jensen is outside breathing it in.
It may not seem like it in the capital, Taipei, but Taiwan's air has been ranked as the 45th most polluted in the world and the 3rd worst in East Asia. That's according to a new report by the private Swiss air company IQ Air, which measured pollutants in the air across 134 countries in 2023 and found that Taiwan's air is better than China's, but worse than South Korea's and Japan's, and has got even worse, 50% worse over the last year. And that's pretty embarrassing for a developed country. And the Ministry of Environment has already refuted these findings, saying that actually Taiwan's air quality has improved and that the data used in the report doesn't match their own. But local environmental groups have hit back and said that actually, yes, Taiwan's air is as bad as the report says.
那你不应该去质疑说它的数据有问题，可能太高或者怎么样。你应该去讲说，那既然这个数据这么多的大数据里面可以看到彰化的空气污染就是这么严重，那你应该要想办法找出要怎么样降低污染的，不是去质疑它的数据，这样没有意义啊。
Now, air quality across Taiwan is different according to complex factors like geology and seasonal winds, but the country's reliance on fossil fuels as well as heavy industry in the south mean that air pollution poses a real health risk on the island nation. And the World Health Organization estimates that some 7 million people worldwide die from air pollution. So the troubling ranking as well as growing calls to action domestically may mean that Taiwan needs to take this life-threatening issue more seriously. Alex Chen and Sally Jensen in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
A new survey by Taiwan's health ministry says about 8% of seniors in the country have some form of dementia. That's about 350,000 people. Many of those have Alzheimer's or Parkinson's disease, or dementia caused by reduced blood flow to the brain. The survey says dementia patients require more medical resources and emergency care. It also finds people with dementia experience emotional and social withdrawal. The report says the number of senior dementia patients could double to close to 700,000 by around 2040. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website and follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Before we sign off, come for a stroll with the sea goddess Mazu as she crosses central Taiwan. The 9-day Baishatun Mazu pilgrimage will end on March 26th. I'm Ethan Liu. Take care, and I'll see you next time.